By the way, these charges presumably are public, so...
They're public, and this is extremely serious.
So what are you charged with?
That's a really good question. I'm charged with being the head of an organized criminal group, which is in charge of recruiting girls to make TikTok videos to steal the money from the TikTok views.
Recruiting girls to make TikTok videos and stealing the money. So it's really a financial crime?
It looks that way.
In June, you and your brother and 2 others were formally charged with rape, trafficking, and forming an organized crime group to sexually exploit women.
There seems to be this understanding that you are being prosecuted, or you're being indicted rather, for human sex trafficking charges. I've read the indictment, and I do want to make it clear, the words human sex trafficking occur on the indictment, but then it makes it very clear that what they're referring to is they kind of extended the term. It's not what we think about in America when you think of a bunch of children being put into a truck and taken over the border against their will.
What is human trafficking?
Yeah, so the overall, my understanding of it, they're saying that human trafficking is when you convince a woman to do something she doesn't want to do for financial gain. And there's different methods you can do that. You can do that through force, and you can also do that through emotional coercion.
I think most people, just speaking from the American perspective, most people believe that human trafficking is effectively slavery, selling human beings.
That's what I believe as well.
It's not what we think about in America when you think of a bunch of children being put into a truck and taken over the border against their will. They're basically saying that if you
In the period of 2017, the defendant transported her from the UK to Romania. They subjected the victim to physical violence and psychological coercion, resulting from actions of intimidation, surveillance, and control, with the aim of sexually exploiting her. They forced her to engage in pornographic activities for the production and distribution of pornographic materials using the website webcamming site. They provided shelter for the victim in a building located in Redacted, as well as in a building located in Redacted. They also transported her within the area of Redacted with the aim of sexually exploiting her by forcing her to engage in pornographic activities for the production and distribution of pornographic materials using the website onlyfans.com and subjecting her to forced labor using the website tiktok.com.
Taken over the border against their will, they're basically saying that if you trick a woman into coming into a country by using the lover boy method, then they consider that to be human sex trafficking. So the definition has definitely expanded over time.
So in the United States, I think the belief is that you were charged with human trafficking.
Yeah, that's human trafficking, because what you do is you force a girl to work against her will for financial gain. That's human trafficking. And their justification for this is that girls do TikTok. Some girls I know who they found who say they're not victims have TikTok accounts.
How do you force someone to do TikTok videos?
I guess the prosecutor is going to have to explain that, isn't it?
It's also ridiculously misogynistic to believe that women can't make their own decisions on anything. So the whole thing about it is misogynistic. But yeah, you're correct. That's a very important distinction.
Essentially what they're saying is we have a show in America called 90 Day Fiancé.
Yep.
This would be the same vein of what they're trying to describe. I've read it myself, of what human sex trafficking can be, which is a woman fell for you, fell in love, moved over here overseas, but it's only because you were very convincing.
Yeah.
That is the definition given in the indictment of what they're referring to.
Correct. I'll give a very quick rundown on the case. Everything from these old videos, old clips, my webcam company, things that happened 10 years ago have absolutely nothing to do with the criminal case. Absolutely zero. Anything you see from before 2021 has nothing to do with the case. The case against me is that from 2021, my brother and I, when we were already worth hundreds of millions of dollars and already successful and famous, created an organized criminal group. And our intention was to convince women to move to Romania to make TikTok videos so we could steal the TikTok money.
And TikTok, and they mention OnlyFans.
Correct.
On the indictment page.
The overall charge is that there's an organized criminal group. There's a group of us. I'm the head of it. My brother is below me. And we use the lover boy method to convince women to do TikTok videos to make money so that we can steal the TikTok money.
TikTok, and they mention OnlyFans.
Correct.
On the indictment page. And they say that you did this using the lover boy method.
Well, the fact that you're not accused of a sex crime or of violence, which I think most people don't really understand.
Yep.
And they can look it up.
Yep.
I mean, but you're not actually accused of rape, selling anyone, pimping.
Correct.
Okay. That right there raises a lot of questions.